we all doing? Welcome back to Premier League Dad. My name is Kee. We are live for some Icelandic football. The Besta Deild Karla, the Icelandic Premier League. What are you talking about? You've never watched the Icelandic Premier League before. What are you talking about? There's some great football on tonight. If you're missing club football and you've been bored with the international break and you want to watch a bit of club football, tonight is the night. Icelandic Premier League, get stuck in. It's live on One Football. You don't need to pay anything to watch it. Come and join me. It's going to be a great night of club football. We've got IA against Breidablik, the Icelandic Giants. Go and check them out. It's live on One Football, and you can go and you can watch along with me. It kicks off in 13 minutes, 6 o'clock kickoff. I'll be live for it. 12 minutes time. Go and check it out. Right, we need to do the lineups because listen. I know that's. I'm not going to keep you in suspense. That's obviously the news you're all waiting for. But otherwise, listen, we'll be talking about all sorts tonight. We're not just going to be watching the Icelandic Premier League. Of course, we'll be doing that. But we're also going to be talking about all the other footy news that's been going on over the last week and everything else that's been going on over the last couple of days. But mainly we'll be talking about this weekend's Premier League football. We'll be talking about all the latest news in football, Chelsea's charges which came out today, what happens with City. Apparently there's news about Manchester City which is about to break before the end of this month. We don't really know what's going to happen with all that, but I'm really interested to hear what you think about it. Let me know your thoughts. We can talk about it. I'm sure we will throughout tonight's stream. But yeah, looking forward to this one. It's going to be a good night of football, and it's an early start as well. So, 6:45, 7:45, be done by 8 o'clock. Get an early night for once on this channel. Hey! Anyway, so, I'm not going to put... Am I going to put anything on? Nah, we don't need any lineups on the screen, do we? Because we don't need them. Right, there you go. That's all you're getting from me now on there. Kieran says Shamrock Rovers are going to hammer Breidablik. Yes, of course they are. Chimey, hey Key, hey chat, good to see you, Chimey. And Ostamog, Key, how are you? And what do you think about Chelsea's charges? I am very good. Hopefully you are too, mate. As far as what do I think about Chelsea's charges, the charges go really, really far back. I actually wasn't sure when they would relate to, but apparently it goes all the way back to Willian signing for Chelsea. And there was a lot of rumours at the time that Willian was about to sign for Spurs, he was about to sign for Liverpool from Icelandic Karla, and Chelsea signed him, and it's now breaking news that they basically paid his agents a little, well, that's the allegation anyway, that's the charge. I'm not going to say they're guilty of it, but they paid the agent a little backhander so that he'd go to Chelsea and not go to Liverpool or go to Spurs. Which, Hey, and they did the same with Eden Hazard as well. Eden Hazard was another one that apparently it was involved in. So, hey, we'll see. Right, what we saying? Sorry, I'm not ignoring yous. TikTok. What we saying? Okay, here we go. Joe Aribo says derbies galore this weekend. Derbies galore over the next couple of weekends, actually. We've got Liverpool and Everton next weekend. But yeah, City United, that's huge. West Ham Spurs, of course, is big. Fulham are playing Brentford as well. Chelsea are playing Brentford. Sorry, Fulham Brentford the week after. So, yeah, it feels like there's quite a bit of footy over the next 2 weeks that's a derby or not or something. Reese, we had the 115. Now we have the 74. And Joe Rebo go, so the South Coast derby as well. Yeah, Portsmouth and Southampton. Oh, that's going to be a great game. Welcome to Memeland. Thoughts on Charlie Kirk? I mean, it's not nice. It's not nice. You never ever want to see any. It did rock me a little bit that yesterday. I was like, Jesus Christ. Didn't think there was anything like that was likely to happen. But hey, listen, the guy's still on the loose is what I understand. But Ollie Marley, only football on today, eh? Yes, the only football that's on today is this. Club football, anyway. Adzo, the Icelandic League is good for betting on lots of goals. I think the last 2 games we've done on the Icelandic League have been quite low scoring. This is our 3rd Icelandic League watch-along. It's basically becoming our niche. You know, I don't know if you get too many other Icelandic watch-alongs on any other footy channels, but, you know, if you're after diversity, Kee brings you diversity. TJ Techno Notice, Bradford v Huddersfield will be the best of the year. Bradford Huddersfield. What do we think of that one? I fancy Huddersfield will get a point there. Bradford was shocking against Donny last week. Yeah, I've backed Donny to get a draw or a win, double chance, away at... Is it Wigan? I think Doncaster are away at Wigan. And also I've backed Huddersfield away at Bradford. Even though Bradford are unbeaten at home, they're flying at home. I am Croots. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you doing well. Obviously, we saw what happened yesterday. Yeah, good to see you too, man. Reese, Roman Abramovich has had a howler. Hope you've not had the misfortune of seeing the video. Well, yeah, I have, unfortunately, mate, yeah. AM10, who is your favourite player to watch in the Prem? Ooh, favourite player to watch? Non-Liverpool, I would say Adam Wharton. Really, really enjoy watching Adam Wharton. Taylor, Yoki, what game are you watching? I'm watching IA versus Breidablik in the Icelandic Premier League. And I am Kroot, says there needs to be serious safety concerns, conversations about the World Cup next year. Yeah, well, I mean, I can't imagine it does affect the World Cup next year because, I mean, they didn't stop the Qatar World Cup, it didn't stop the Russia World Cup, and I can't imagine it stops this World Cup, to be honest. But hey, you're probably right. That would be a smart thing to have at least a good conversation about. Kieran says Reykjavik are the biggest team in Iceland. Vinegar Reykjavik. Kieran, although Shamrock Rovers lost to Breidablik 3 years ago. Well, this one's 6 minutes away from kickoff. Dave Green says the same thing will happen to Chelsea as with City. Prolonged dispute, all brushed aside. Big clubs. Do you think it's anything to do with the size of the clubs? Surely not. I am Kroot. Russia and Qatar was more on a political and human rights level, though. This is outright fan safety. Well, I mean, I don't know, mate. I don't know. It's far more intelligent people than you or I would say, will have that debate and probably not be able to sort it out. So you and I are unlikely to sort it tonight. Dave Green, money is destroying football. I mean, people were saying that 30 odd years ago, Dave, in fairness. I'm sure Brian Clough, it was, refused to pay £1 million for, Trevor Francis? Refused to pay £1 million because he didn't want to be the manager who bought the first £1 million footballer. And people were saying it's ridiculous, the money that's involved these days just for a football. It's ridiculous. It's the same then, it was the same now, so, you know, it's just one of them things. It's an ever-present. People were saying that Liverpool were buying the league in the 70s and 80s, then they said Blackburn were doing it in the 90s, United were doing it in the noughties, Chelsea were doing it in the noughties, City are doing it in the last 10, 15 years, so it's no different, it's just always the way. Same with Real Madrid. It's always been the way in football. Dave, the gap between the big six and the rest is what I mean. I think the gap between the big six and the rest is as narrow as it's ever been, if anything. If you look at Newcastle and Villa, both have been interlopers in the top six in the recent, they've both got in the Champions League quite well recently. Leicester won the league. Brighton were 5 points off the Champions League last year. Spurs finished well out of it. Man United finished well out of it. So Chelsea weren't that, Chelsea were well out of it for a long while as well. So there's only really been Liverpool, Arsenal and City that have been consistent in it over the last maybe 4 or 5 years. There's been a fair bit of movement in and out of the top six, I would say. There's a good bit of traction there. Right, we're about to kick off here. Ollie, when does coverage start? 6 p.m. So it's live right now. If you go to onefootball.com or if you go to the OneFootball app, you can download the OneFootball app on whatever smart TV or Fire Stick or Apple TV or whatever you've got. Totally legit. All you have to do is download OneFootball. I'm not making anything from this, by the way. I shouldn't even really promote it. I'm watching it on OneFootball, though, but if you want to watch it, you can watch it wherever you want. But it is on OneFootball. Go and check it out. IA against Breidablik at the Besta Deild Karla Icelandic Premier League. Let's see if we recognise any of the names on the pitch. I've got a good little grasp of Icelandic footy and Scandinavian footy in general. I've got to be honest, I don't understand. I don't know any of them names. None of them. Apart from number 9, Haldor Arneson, the big number 9. What a player. For Breidablik. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, to be honest. Breidablik. It's certainly spelled Breidablik. It might be Breidablik. Breidablik. Sounds a bit more Icelandic, doesn't it? I am Crew. Do you ever think we'll get to the point of £1 billion players, or do you think it'll crash? I mean, I never thought we'd get to the point of £100 million players. It seems like commonplace now. Relatively, not average players, but it feels like if you want a top player now, you're paying 100 million plus. Like, that's like the going rate. For a top player, there's a lot of £100 million plus players now. And just, like, potential, like Voltamada, Ekatike, whether on, like Nunes, that, you know, young players coming from leagues that weren't always great at adapting to the Premier League, they've been going for 70, 80 million. So, yeah, it feels like for any decent players to move, you're talking 100, 150 million. So it won't be long before we break the 200 million mark, I imagine. The Red Baron, greetings from Liverpool. Good to see you, man. How's it going? Joe, hi, Kee, lad. Good to see you, Joe. How's things, mate? And Tom, what we saying? Hey, Kee, I know it's not your content, but what do you think to the Charlie Kirk situation? Yeah, mate, we were just chatting about it. Honestly, I mean, it's not my content, but I'll say the same as anyone else. I thought it was horrific when the video popped up on my timeline last night. It was horrific. Fella's a father at the end of the day, and you see videos of him with his little girl and stuff running up. You don't want to see anything like that. So that's appalling. So no, sad, very, very sad. Hey Coley, anything on United, mate? No, not as far as I'm aware. Not as far as I'm aware. I am Crew, whatever you think of Kirk, and I did not like him. My father has died for saying what he believed in. It's shocking that people are celebrating his death. But I mean, again, I think it's mainly people on social media. It's not. Social media is not a real place, as far as I'm concerned. There's like real people. When you meet real people, generally, there's sorrow that someone's been affected by it. Now, I can't say I sat and watched him or knew a whole lot about his views, so I don't know. I'm not going to profess to have been an avid follower in any way, shape or form. But all I know is some guy who was a politician on a certain thingy who used to go to campuses and talk got killed yesterday, and that's however you want to dress that up. That's incredibly sad. So. Ostermorg heard the 16 million in add-ons for words as if we get 4 Champions Leagues or Prem. That's true, yeah. Yeah, we have to be very successful. And Ollie, is it just me or is my OneFootball account not in English? I don't know. I would imagine they don't actually have English commentary for something like this. It's very niche, isn't it? But it might well be. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Joe, he did have some outrageous views, but that doesn't excuse killing a father who was loved by his family. Yeah, but look, again, the views are irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't really make much of a difference what his views were. You don't do that. You don't resort to that. So it's sad. Whichever way you want to dress it up, it's sad. A lot of people you disagree with, you don't do that. Bull says, no football on tonight, mate. There certainly is. There's a monster game on tonight, mate. It's IA against Breidablik in the Icelandic Premier League. You can watch it for free on OneFootball. Welcome to Memeland. People celebrating his death aren't right in the head, even though he had controversial views. Yeah, it's sad. Alfie, hope you're well, people. God bless you all and all of your close ones. You too, mate. You too. God bless you too. Paul, are you watching that, mate? I am indeed. Yeah, it's on right now. Again, if you want to go and check it out, One Football, download the app on your phone, on your telly, on your smart TV, whatever, and you can watch it. Ollie, what Icelandic games have you done before? We did Valor against Stjarnan. We did Vikingur Reykjavik against... Oh, I can't remember. We've done a few anyway. We've done a fair few. I can't remember off the top of my head, but Valor was one. Valor against Stjarnan and Vikingur Reykjavik against... Can't remember. You can see him on the channel. We have done a few before. Wim, hello. Club Bruges fan is here. League football is back. It is indeed. And Ethan, I'm surprised you aren't doing the South Coast Derby. I think it's just because it clashes with other games, mate. It's quote unquote less important or more important, let's say, in my view. Right, we're off. We're off and underway here in Akraness in the Icelandic Premier League. Let's hope for a good bit of football tonight. Joe, Key, I'm off the gym. I'll see you later, pal. 2 more days till the Voltamada show. Nice. Enjoy, mate. Take it easy. Have a nice night. So, for what it's worth, just so people are aware, the Icelandic Premier League is called the Besta Deild Karla. We are 21 games into the season in the Icelandic League. Akraness, who are IA, they are the team who are at home here. They are rock bottom of the league. Absolutely rock bottom. They are playing at the Akraness Stadium. Oh, it's very nearly 1-0 to Akraness there. Christ, nearly 1-0 straight away. We've only been playing less than a minute then. It was nearly 1-0. Yeah, Akraness have scored 20 goals in 21 games this season. They are rock bottom and they are 11 points from safety. Breidablik, on the other hand, are 4th and 6 points off the leaders Valor at the very top. So, time will tell whether they are able to get back in front. Ethan, are you going to do our cup match? I will indeed, yeah. I'll be doing Liverpool v Southampton. Wim this weekend is La Louvière away, but our fans have boycotted the game. Why is that? Why are Club Bruges fans boycotting the game? I am Crute. Apparently his daughter ran towards him because she was scared of the noise. Breaks my heart. Like I said, again, you know, I'm not here to advocate for anyone's. Ultimately, nobody believes. Nobody agrees. No two people agrees with everything the other person says, unless you live in like a literal echo chamber. So at some point, we all are going to disagree on different things. And I don't think at any point the answer is going to be that. The answer is always more conversation. When you disagree with people, the worst thing you can do is demonise them and make them out to be this awful thing. The answer is always more conversation. In my opinion, anyway. Talk as much as you can. Respectfully. Tell you what, Akraness are in here. Big chance. Daz Reynolds, when's your predictions? Tomorrow, mate. Yeah, tomorrow. Ethan, I predict Liverpool to get FM'd. And Ollie Marley, hot take. The first leg of Celtic v Kairat Almaty was one of the worst games of the year. It's not even that hot a take, that one, Ollie. I think most would agree with that. It was dreadful, Kairat Almaty against Celtic, wasn't it? Okay, corner to IA here. They've started incredibly well. NUFC says, seeing that USA might get kicked out of the World Cup. Why? Why would they get kicked out of the World Cup? Wim Malfay says, I'm going to watch Manchester United women. And Ethan says FM means football manager. So Liverpool are going to get football managered. I predict Liverpool to get football managered. What does that mean? No, NUFC. No, come on, mate. They're not getting kicked out. They're not getting kicked out for that. Only a week to go until FC26. I know, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how it actually ends up panning out, I guess. Ostermorg means dominate the game but still lose. Oh, that's a new one on me. I'd never heard the expression someone being FM'd. Ethan Will still is known for playing football manager to being a football manager. Yeah, I didn't put that 2 and 2 together. I probably should have done, to be honest. Did you manage to pre-order it? I did, mate. Yeah, I have got it. It's on the way, or it'll be whenever it's released. Is it the 19th it comes out? Yeah, so whenever it comes out, the 19th, I'll do a play along or something, depending on... Well, no, actually, what date? The 19th, the 19th of Friday. Yeah, Friday. We've not really got any games on a Friday, have we? Oh, we have. We've got Borough. It's Borough against West Brom a week on Friday. So as long as it comes out in like the middle of the day, I could maybe do it. I could maybe do a little play along in the middle of the day. See how we go. This is some strong stuff, though. The Icelandic Premier League. To be watching this. We've done some games on this channel, but the Icelandic Premier League is usually scraping the barrel. We're through to the wood here. Ryan, if you're Xbox, they can do the New Zealand thing for one day earlier. No, it's PC, mate. I'm a PC gamer exclusively. NUFC KS, Barca Newcastle next week as well. Yeah, Barca. No, it's this week, isn't it? Oh, well, no. Yeah, this week coming. Yeah. I was going to say all the Champions League games next week. Villarreal against Spurs. Chelsea away at Bayern Munich. That's going to be a great one as well. Clarky, what's your prediction for the Manchester derby on Sunday? I've gone for 3-1. I'm doing a video tomorrow, or I'm publishing a video tomorrow. It's already filmed. I just need to publish it tomorrow for the predictions. But I've gone for 3-1 for Man United against City. Honestly, this transition to getting better is one to enjoy. I think Will still can get us Europa or Conference League. How's he going to get Europa or Conference League? Are you talking about in like 3 years' time? Will says Isaac's going to make a debut on Sunday, apparently. I would imagine he does make it off the bench, yeah. Probably will come on, for even if it's just for 5-10 minutes at the end, but I don't think he starts. Ostermorg, are there any good games in game week 1 of the Europa League? Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few good ones that I've seen that I'm looking forward to. Real Betis against Nottingham Forest is a really good one I'm looking forward to. That's probably going to be one of the ones that we do if we can. From a selfish point of view, I'm really looking forward to Midtjylland against Sturm Graz. We're probably not going to do that on the channel, but that would be one of the ones that I would be excited about. Just because I'm a little bit of a Midtjylland fan on the sly. But yeah, I think the the biggest one will certainly be Forest. There's Braga against Feyenoord. That one's going to be half decent. Betis Forest was the other one. What's the other big one that we were on about the other night? Nice against Roma. Villa against Bologna. I think that Villa Park, that one's going to be okay. But we could do, I think what we're probably going to end up doing Wednesday night. It's a Wednesday night. The first games are going to be Real Betis against Forest, and then we'll do the Villa against Bologna game on the Thursday. Which means we could still do Midtjylland against Sturm Graz because it's 5:45 on the Wednesday. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, we'll do that. There you go. Well, there you go. We just figured it out anyway. Daz, do you think Frimpong starts Sunday or Bradley? I would imagine it's going to be Connor Bradley. Yeah, I think Frimpong, again, Arne Slot doesn't tend to take too many risks with his players. And Connor Bradley came through unscathed against Germany and, played really well in that one, I thought. I thought he played really well against Luxembourg, actually. And he played 90 minutes in both, so I don't think there's any concerns with Connor Bradley's fitness or his physical ability at the moment. So I think he's fine. He'll probably end up playing. Whereas Frimpong, we know he still had that knock recently. It wouldn't make any sense to play him. He's not gone on international duty. He was at the club while Isak was doing his medical. So I think Frimpong's a good player, but I would rather keep him on the bench. Ethan, some point in the next 10 years. Maybe, yeah. Daz, what games are you doing next week in the Champions League? You can have a look, mate, on the schedule. They're all there right now. If you click on my profile picture on YouTube, you can see all the games that we're doing next week. FM No Casuals, what game are we watching, Chief? What game are we watching? We're watching IA, bottom of the Icelandic Premier League, Akraness, against Breidablik, who are 4th. 6 points off Valur at the very top. Big chance! It's 1-0! It's 1-0 to Akraness. What a goal that is as well. Get in! Bottom of the league have taken the lead at home against Breidablik. There you go. What a goal. It was a lovely ball in from the left-hand side. The defending was pretty terrible, if I'm really honest. The right back is nowhere to be seen, and then when the ball does eventually come in, the centre back, it's a lazy. He just skews it, and then 6 yards out. It's a good finish. It's a bit of a scrappy one, but it is a good finish. You can't knock it, and it's 1-0. Omar Bjorn Stefansson with the goal, number 22. Clarky says, what's the new goalkeeper like at corners, Key? Are we on about Senna Lammens for Man United? He is good. Yes, he is good. That's probably one of the best things about him is his command of his area. Now, how that transitions into the Premier League, where maybe he might be under a bit more physical pressure than he would be in Belgium, I don't know. Maybe he becomes a little bit more timid. I don't know. Maybe he's, he takes a real command and he steps up. I have no idea. I guess you never know how a player is going to be until you actually put them in the situation. But it's a lazy comparison, and I have to hazard that and say it is a lazy comparison because he's Belgian and he looks a lot like him. But he does remind me of Thibaut Courtois. He really does. In how he plays. Forget how he looks, even though he does look like him. He's a dark-haired, tall Belgian goalkeeper. The comparisons with Courtois are obvious. But we've seen him quite a few times on this channel. We watched him a little bit last season. We watched him twice this season already. The most recent one was Antwerp against Union Saint-Gilloise. He saved a penalty. He was really, really good off crosses that night as well. And we watched that game on the understanding that we thought he probably would go to Man United. I remember us saying in the game, nearly 1-1 there. Absolutely shocking. 13 minutes in. There's going to be goals galore in this one. William, could Forest do over Betis? Well, I've gone Forest or draw in that one. I do think Forest might get something, yes. What we saying? Ostermorg, hope Leone comes off the bench as well on the weekend. I think he might get, he might get a couple of minutes, definitely. Tino, how's it going, Tino? Good to see you. Ethan, Kee, score prediction for the South Coast Derby. I think probably 2-1 Southampton. Leo, is it actually minute 11 right now? The clock is synced up perfectly, so on my screen it says exactly what it says right there on YouTube. So it's 14 minutes 21, 3, 4, 5, then... Leo, 12, yes, Leo, it is. The clock's bang on. Lol, Joey, Frimpong was in rehab during the Isaac signing day vlog, so highly doubt he's back for Sunday. I was going to say, he was there though, wasn't he? There was pictures of him with Isaac during the medical. ZQXV, how's it going, mate? Good to see you. Nicholas Arno, Soberslai is killer at right back anyway. I wouldn't be keeping Soberslai there. I think you've got to, as much as he's really good there, I think we have to be respectful of the fact that he's a wonderful midfielder as well. And like, I like him at right back, but I don't want him to, get aggy because we're putting him at right back. Do you know what I mean? Luke Etherington, what's your Premier League predictions for this weekend? I've got a video coming out tomorrow, mate, where we talk about all of them, but yeah, you can check that out tomorrow if you want to. I'll be live tomorrow, and we've got Ipswich against Sheffield United tomorrow night, but there'll be a video that comes out tomorrow afternoon with all of the Premier League predictions. So if you want to do that, go and check it out. Go and follow me on YouTube. And I'm looking forward to a good weekend of Premier League footy. We've got 4 games we're live for on Saturday. 4 games back to back on this channel we're doing. So I'm doing 12:30, Arsenal Forest, Ange Postecoglou back in the Premier League at his old nemesis, Arsenal. What do we think to that one? Forget what I think. What do you think to that one? Arsenal against Forest. Ange Postecoglou back at Arsenal. That one's going to be a great game to get the Premier League weekend up and running. At 3 o'clock, there's I think there's 5 games that kick off at 3 o'clock on Saturday. The one that I am watching, the one that I've basically chosen for this weekend, is Everton against Aston Villa at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. So we'll be watching that one at 3 o'clock. At 5:30, it's West Ham against Spurs. And then at 8 p.m, it's Brentford against Chelsea. So we've got loads of great games on Saturday night. On Sunday, it's even better, you might say, because Liverpool start us off away to Burnley at 2 o'clock. Then it's the Manchester Derby, Manchester United against Man City at the Etihad. Finally, on the night, Barcelona against Valencia. So we've got a bit of La Liga action. Our first La Liga action of the season, it must be said as well. So, really looking forward to it. Breidablik must shoot. Oh, just over the bar. Unlucky. Nearly 1-1. Ethan, what do you think of Tom Fellows, Azaz, Casper Janders joining? Yeah, I mean, Tom Fellows, Azaz, I think both of those could take... They could take Middlesbrough up, couldn't they, really? That's Middlesbrough up. Could take Southampton up. It's because Azaz joined from Middlesbrough, didn't he? Yeah, they could take Southampton up, those. They're really, really solid signings, and you've used the Diblin money very well. I think Tom Fellows certainly had the ability to be a Premier League player. Last year he was linked with Everton, wasn't he? He could have been the original Tyler Diblin, I guess. So, yeah, no, I think that's an astute signing. Dad's prediction for Sunday, Burnley v Liverpool. I say 0-4. Oh, I don't think that. I think it'll be close. Yeah, I think it'll be close. I think Burnley will give us a real game. Something tells me Burnley score first. Liverpool in international breaks, we never really respond all that well. It's a big test, that. Players all just coming back after being off around the world, and they come back, and it's tough. It's really tough. Burnley won't have as many of us going around the world. They'll have been a little bit more compact, and I do. I think Burnley against Liverpool at the weekend could surprise a few. Don't think it's going to be the walk in the park that everyone's expecting it to be. I imagine, actually, I'll call it now, and I'm a Liverpool fan, I do think Burnley score first. Burnley score first, they catch us cold. Liverpool still not quite out the traps, and then maybe second half, we kind of find our feet. Arne Slot changes some things and we end up winning it. So I would go for 2-1, I think. I think Liverpool do still get the 3 points, but it's a tough old night at Turf Moor. Josh, yo, haven't been here for ages. Good to see you, Josh. How's things, mate? What are we saying? Clarky, what would your tactics be against Manchester City, Key? From a Manchester United point of view, my tactics... I would play... Have they got Xerxes? Can Xerxes... Is he fit? If he's fit, I would be playing Xerxes up there. And I would be pouring it on him, like dropping it on him every chance I got, because those City centre-backs are all over the place at the moment. The battle will be won in midfield. So I would concede the extra defender and put in an extra midfielder. Even though I know that's Amarim's system, I'd be putting in Casemiro, Mainu, and Bruno Fernandes in a midfield three, and asking him to do the legs. You know, just make sure you are covering every single blade of grass, working away in there, and just go 4-3-3. Just square City up, or not even 5-3-2 if you want. Keep the 5 at the back. That's fine, but make sure you've got that extra body in midfield. You have to have that extra body in midfield. You can't be going... Because if they put 2 in midfield and against City's 3, they'll just get overrun. They'll get overrun. They need at least 3 legs up against... 3 pairs of legs against City. Otherwise, they'll just get done. Josh, not bad. Back to school and all that rubbish. Have been keeping me out of any streams. Well, hey, mate, listen. Focus on school, definitely. Keep priorities and all that sort of thing. Clarky, would you play Sesko? Yeah, probably would, actually. I mean, you've got a 70-odd million pound striker. You've got to, haven't you? But I just feel like Xerxes, if you've not got Cunha, then Xerxes is a good... One thing I do like about Xerxes is he keeps hold of the ball. He holds it well. And he links things up really well. So I'd be tempted to put Xerxes in there with Mbermo. But if you've got Sesko, if Xerxes is not fit, I don't know. You've got to try and find a way to work Sesko in. I think if Cunha's out, which is a massive blow for United, then they've maybe got to find a way to put Sesko in. Ostermorg just saw Bakwa signed for Forest. He's meant to be decent, isn't he? I'm probably 6 days late on this. About 9 days late on it. Yeah. But he's not a bad player, you're right. He's all right, actually. He's okay. Andres Cabrera, goal Breidablik. No, there's no goal Breidablik, mate. You're wrong. Very nearly a goal to Akraness, actually. There's some absolutely belting games on though this weekend. In terms of, let's not use the B word, but in terms of ACCAs, there's some great games to bet on. Oh, I just used the B word. I didn't even mean that. Be yourself, Dylan. I'm out tonight. Good to see you, man. I'm out tonight. Where are you off to? Well, wherever you're going, have a nice night, mate. Enjoy it. Seeing Tom Grennan. Found what I've been looking for. Nice. That is him, isn't it? Found what I've been looking for. I think that's the only Tom Grennan song I know, to be honest. I will enjoy it. Yeah, great. I can't say I've ever been to a proper concert, whatever, but enjoy it, mate. Ostermore, Keys, what's your schedule for the Prem this weekend? I've just gone through it. But I'll go through it again because there's hey, why not? So this weekend we've got Arsenal Forest 12:30. So I'm doing 4 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. Arsenal Forest Saturday 12:30. 3 o'clock Everton against Aston Villa. It's 5 games at 3 o'clock, and that was the best of the best, I thought, at 3 p.m. 5:30 West Ham against Spurs. 8 p.m. Brentford against Chelsea. So we're live all day, pretty much from 11:30, all the way through to about 10, half 10. So, dedication. Absolute dedication on Saturday. I'm deaf. I'm sorry, mate. So yeah, I've done that one. I've done that on Saturday, and then Sunday I've got Liverpool Burnley. Obviously, is the first one, 2 o'clock. Then City v United 4:30, and then the late one I'm doing is Barcelona against Valencia. So 4 games Saturday, 3 games Sunday. What best do you think I should do this weekend? Right. Callum, is Ipswich a stream tomorrow? Yes, Ipswich against Sheffield United is tomorrow night. That's the game we're doing tomorrow. Chance for Breidablik, back post, just wide. Okay, let me tell you which ones I've got for this weekend. So tonight, I've got Nacional in the Uruguayan Cup. Don't tell me I've got a problem, but I am betting on Nacional. I had Penarol to win in the Uruguayan Cup, and they did. So I have got Nacional to win in the Uruguayan Cup tonight, in the early hours of this morning. This weekend, I have got Wrexham to beat... Well, remember I only ever do draw... DNBs, they're called. Draw, no... Basically, I do them that way so that if there is a draw, it doesn't completely ruin your slip. But I've got Wrexham against QPR, Wrexham. Real Madrid away at Sociedad. Strasbourg against Le Havre. PSV away against NEC Breda. Sparta Prague away against Hradec Kralov. Partizan Belgrade away at Spartak Subotica. Sevilla against Elche, which is tomorrow night as well. Leicester away at Oxford. Coventry at home to Norwich. West Brom at home to Derby. Southampton at home to Portsmouth. Huddersfield or draw away to Bradford. Doncaster or draw away to Wigan. Doncaster flying at the minute. Atletico Madrid or draw at home to Villarreal. And Lazio draw, no bet, away at Sassuolo. That's obviously a very, very long slip, but basically those are all of my tips for this weekend. Clarky, are you watching the boxing on Saturday, Key? Honestly, mate, no. I don't really do boxing. It's not my thing. Again, to each their own, but I don't really follow it. Mainly because I'm forever watching football. So I don't even know when the boxing's on or who's fighting. But I imagine it's a Saturday night, right? So Saturday night I've got I've got Brentford against Chelsea. That only goes off at 10, half 10. And I'll have literally been sat right here from about 11 in the morning when Arsenal and Forest is getting started through to about half 10 at night for Chelsea away at Brentford to finish. So it's like a good 12 hours, like 11, 12 hours. There or thereabouts. G. Lawrence, thoughts on Noni Madueke so far this season? I think he's a very, very average player. And I don't think he's made a particularly smart decision in moving to Arsenal because his best form seems to be on the right-hand side. And he was never going to get in that position at Chelsea because of Cole Palmer. And he's never going to get in that position at Arsenal because of Bukayo Saka. And I don't think he's good enough to get in that position for England. So I think Noni Madueke would have been far better going to a Newcastle or a Villa or anyone really like that. They'd have been far better having him than another Arsenal signing that just didn't need to happen, to be honest. But hey, what do I know? Ostermore got a score prediction for our game. I think 2-1, mate, yeah. RCPV, hi Key, I'm back to watch your streams for Honduras. Is this the last game season for Breidablik? I don't think it is the last game of the season, no. As I understand it... Hey, you might be right, you know. I don't think it is, but you might be right. So, they've all played... No, this is the 21st. So this is the second to last game of the season for both of these sides. And then obviously you have the championship group and the relegation group. That's how it's done in Iceland. It's split. The top 6 and the bottom 6 go into championship groups and relegation groups. Callum, I've got Ipswich as Null and Fleetwood. Oh, I've got Ipswich, Arsenal and Fleetwood, me pal. Nice. Shelley, hi Key. Hope everything went okay yesterday. Oh, it did, thank you, Shelley. That's very nice of you to mention. Wasn't a dry eye in the house. She had us singing... what was it called? There was a Vera Lynn song, Wish Me Luck As You Wave Me Goodbye. It was one of them. So everyone was sobbing during that. And then there was another song which was Look. I think it was Look For Me in Rainbows. Honestly, the old girl, she knew how to make people cry. Daz Reynolds, when's Slot's press conference? It's tomorrow. Yeah, it's always the day before a game, or yeah, the day before a weekend. Callum Coyle, read my bet. K, I have. Yes, mate. That guy Miles, thoughts on Charlie Kirk stuff yesterday, Key? A tragic world where we can't have our own views. Yeah, I was going to say, mate, a few people have asked about it, and we have kind of briefly touched on it, but I just feel, yeah, just sad. Just really sad. You don't want to see that to happen to anyone. Doesn't matter what you might think about the views and all that sort of stuff. That is never the answer. I didn't agree with him on a lot of stuff, but I'll say this, that you don't... Yeah, the one thing I will say that I agreed with him on is that more conversation is the answer. It doesn't matter. That as soon as you stop speaking to people about the stuff you disagree on, that's when the world starts to become a really violent place. So the absolute worst thing you can do, is start to demonise people and act like they're not human because they don't agree with you and the things you think or whatever. Like, it's not nice. But you've got to have more conversation with the people you disagree with. That's the answer. G. Lawrence, Arsenal needed depth in that position. Wanyuri had to play out there when Saka's injured last season. And Wanyuri did terrific there. I don't know why they signed Madueke. Wanyuri did terrific when he played in Saka's position. He was fantastic. They've got Oliver Darman coming through as well. Or Max Darman, sorry, not Oliver Darman. Got Max Darman coming through as well. So I don't think they needed anyone in that position. Unless they were going to sell Trossard and Martinelli, which they haven't. Didn't make a lot of sense to me, but again, we'll see. That guy Miles, I mean, I think Gyökeres is good. You don't, but I want the best for you. This is it. No, and do you know what? Sadly, I think a lot of the world just hasn't quite mastered the art of respectfully disagreeing on things, and I would include Charlie Kirk in this. I think sometimes people put their points across in less than articulate ways, maybe. Like, again, I'm not just talking about Charlie Kirk, I'm talking about anyone. If you've got a point that's maybe... If you're talking about a particularly sensitive subject, which there's many sensitive subjects right now that everyone could talk about, and a couple in particular that everyone is very, very wary of discussing. And this stuff's been this stuff has been going on for decades, for centuries. Well, they're not centuries, but a long, long time. It's been going on a really, really long time. Since before you or I were born. And people far more intelligent than you or I have not been able to break through all the nuance and actually make a really simple solution for it. So if they aren't able to get round a table and figure out how to solve this stuff, and it isn't just a black and white, you're right, they're wrong, they're evil, you're good. It's not like that. There's nuance to everything. There's right and wrong on both sides in a lot of cases. And to be honest, once you understand that, it doesn't really feel like you can just have a black and white conversation about it. It's nuanced, and it's frustrating though it may be. You have to talk with people you disagree with and try and find common ground. That's the only way the world stops all this absolute nonsense bloodshed. Because at the end of the day, that is literally all we want. That is all most people are shooting for, right? That's a really poorly phrased word, but you know what I mean. That's all people ultimately want, is people to stop killing people. Just stop killing people, for the love of God. Doesn't matter where they are, what colour, creed, and all that sort of stuff. Just less people dying. Like, nobody dying, ideally, but, you know, just none of that stuff. We all want the same thing. We just kind of disagree with how to get there in a lot of cases. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know there's evil people about. And for those people, yes, absolutely, get shut. But I think the vast majority of us actually don't want that stuff, but maybe make our points a little bit inarticulately at times. Daz Reynolds, how did TNS finish last night with Nomads? I don't know, mate. Do you know what I watched? What game did I end up watching last night? I didn't stream it because I couldn't find it. It's 2! It's 2! I can't believe they've smashed it in. IA, bottom of the league, are absolutely battering Breidablik here. Unreal. What a goal. Rattled in the bottom corner. 2-0. 36 minutes gone. Arab Joe, what are we watching today, Unk? We are watching IA against Breidablik in the Icelandic Premier League, mate. Steve Bulbies, what do you think of Villa's start, mate? Think we're going to struggle? You've not scored a goal yet, have you? You've got Everton away this weekend. That's what we're watching at 3 o'clock on Saturday. So I am really, really looking forward to that. It was Gisli Unarsson who has just scored for IA Akraness in this one. But yeah, what do I think of Villa's start? I think hopefully now you've got Harvey Elliott in and Sancho and Lindelof as well. I think he's not a bad signing. I think this sort of stuff is really, really good for Villa. Those sorts of signings. Maybe less so Jadon Sancho, but Harvey Elliott and Lindelof, experience, you know, good players, I think. And yeah, I think Villa need more of that stuff. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how Unai Emery gets the most out of Jadon Sancho. Can he get the most out of Jadon Sancho? If he can, there's a player in there. But, yeah, plenty of other managers have tried and failed on that front, haven't they? G. Lawrence, Arsenal could sign Mbappe, and Key would say he's bang average and he doesn't rate him. No, I just don't think they needed him. That's the problem. Like, if you sign Madueke, you've already got Wanyuri, Dauman and Saka on the right-hand side. What are you signing Madueke for? Makes no sense. That guy Miles, love hearing your thoughts, my guy. Keeping it 100 as always. Enjoy your evening, bro. You too, mate. Yes. Lots of love. Take it easy, man. Then again here. It's it. Oh, very nearly. Callum Coyle, the Jack Grealish derby. Yeah. The Jack Grealish derby. Lots of other good players who've played for both sides, of course. Ashley Young, Everton and Villa. G. Lawrence, Key, Madueke or Sancho? You just said Sancho is a player. Sancho is a very good player. I have to disagree with Jamie Carragher on that. I think Sancho would have been a very, very talented player if he had applied himself a lot better. I do think he's at a point now in his career where maybe he's too far gone though, and maybe he's a little bit in the Dele Alli, Raheem Sterling phase of in his 20s, but probably has no way back. That's really sad as well, because all three of those have immense talent, don't they? But for whatever reason, Jadon Sancho, Dele Alli, I mean, just mentally, I think they talked about the mental health issues that they've had and how that's affected them, but they've obviously found it really, really difficult to get back to their best form. And Raheem Sterling is just of an age now where he wants to be in London with his family. He's not bothered, really. I think he's quite content about what he's done in football. And yeah, he was very close to moving to Fulham, I believe, on loan, but they couldn't quite get it right. And then Chelsea were trying to send him out on loan to like Saudi or somewhere in Europe, and he was like, no, my family are happy in London. I don't want to go anywhere. I've got a family and kids and I'm fine. So I'm happy to just sit here and stay here as I am. Shelley, Garner Gay, Villa and Everton. Yeah, Idrissa Garner Gay. People forget about that because he was only there for like 1 year, wasn't he? And he went down. But what a player. Great player, Garner Gay. Shelley, Jack Grealish was 30 yesterday. He's becoming a bit of a Premier League pin-up at Everton, isn't he? Shelley, any idea what Chelsea have been charged with? They've been charged with breaching regulations, I believe, in relation to third-party payments, which it might be an oversimplification, but my understanding is that they have been giving backhanders to agents. That's certainly the implication anyway. Whether or not that's what it is, it's suggested that they made payments that weren't on the record to, you know, Willian's agent and Eden Hazard's agent and various others which have been mentioned. Remember, both of those players were very close to signing for other Premier League clubs at the time. Willian very nearly signed for Liverpool, and then Chelsea offered him more money, and then he very nearly went to Spurs, and then Chelsea offered maybe his agent a little backhander, and then he ended up at Chelsea. So he was very nearly both a Liverpool player and a Spurs player before Chelsea played their card. Gusum1309, have you ever watched the Egyptian Premier League? I've watched a little bit of it, not an awful lot on this channel, I have to say. I say not an awful lot, we haven't done any on this channel, but yeah. Arab contractors, obviously, Mo Salah's old team, El Mokaloon, done some really good stuff in the league with them. I mean, to be honest, I'd quite like to do maybe a Zamalek game if I ever went to Egypt again. I'd like to go and do a Zamalek game. But maybe get an El Mokaloon shirt with Salah on the back. Arab Joe, I've got a Garassi jersey. Nice. I'll buy me a new BVB jersey. Which player should I take? No, if you're going to buy a new jersey of Dortmund, I'd be going for someone like Adeyemi. I like Adeyemi. Oh, very nearly 3-0. IA flying here. BLK win. I can't see it, mate. IA are winning 2-0. They're currently doing really, really well. G. Lawrence, Gareth Barry, another one. And Jacko 1. Score prediction for Sunderland at the weekend. Bellingham. Oh, yeah, Joe Bellingham. Yeah, I didn't even think of Joe Bellingham. Prediction for Sunderland at the weekend. Well, Sunderland haven't, if I'm dead honest, filled me with an awful lot of confidence after watching them at Turf Moor. I thought they were quite lucky against Brentford. They got the win in the end, which is the important thing, I guess. But I wasn't particularly impressed with them in that one. I think it's Saturday 3 o'clock, isn't it? They're playing. Yeah, Crystal Palace away, not the easiest fixture. Palace haven't had a great start themselves, other than obviously the Villa game, but chance must be 2-1. Must be. What are you doing? Oh, very nearly 2-1. Breidablik are struggling to get any sort of shot on target here. They've not even really worried the IA keeper. Big chance though. Yeah, I think Sunderland probably. I'll back Palace in that one. I'd go 2-1 Palace. Jacko 1, I'd take a point at Palace. I think, yeah, a point would be a good result. I wouldn't even bet against that. To be honest, I'd stay away from that. As a neutral, I wouldn't put any results on that, because Sunderland could quite easily go and win at Selhurst Park as well. So, could go either way. If I had to, you know, fingers in the drawer, if you were telling me I had to pick one outcome, it'd probably be a Palace win. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was any of those. A draw or a win for Sunderland even. But the game that I think is most likely to maybe not have an upset, but I think the game that's most likely to have a good game, a good performance in it is Villa away at Everton. I feel like Everton have had a strong start to the season, apart from that Leeds game where they were terrible. It's going to be interesting. Villa desperately need to go there and get something. If Villa lose against Everton, I think there's a real possibility that they might start, you know, talking about Unai Emery. Not in a he will be sacked, but just in a questioning way of like, come on, what are you doing here, mate? You've had a really poor start to the season. Big chance, off the line, IA. Oh, it's gone behind for the corner. Very nearly 3-0. This is so close to being a walkover here. Bottom of the league, absolutely smashing Breidablik here. Jacko 1, new signing will strengthen the squad, so wait and see. That's very true. Is there any new signings you think will maybe make the debut or start this weekend for Sunderland at Palace? Chance. Oh, again, very nearly. So close here for IA. Callum says, I think West Ham win against Spurs, really? Ooh, I don't know about that. West Ham. Oh, West Ham are at home, aren't they, as well? Nah, I fancy Spurs there. Jack Gertrude, maybe. I know I've spelt that wrong. Yeah, Gertrude is not the easiest one to spell. Breidablik can win. No, not at all. IA have been brilliant. Breidablik have not been good at all. They've been terrible. They're coming forward now, but it's very nearly half-time, and it's 2-0 to IA. Big chance. Oh, off the post. Breidablik very nearly making it 2-1 on the edge of half-time, and the referee's blown up there. An absolutely breathless first half. Do you know what? This has been a really, really good first half. It's 2-0. I've enjoyed that. That's a good half of football. Both teams really going for it, and some good shots, some good goals here. If you want to watch a good game of football, get the Icelandic Premier League on. IA against Breidablik. Okay, right. Match time. Pause, reset, second half. There you go. Callum Coyle says, nah, 21 West Ham. Oh, 2-1 West Ham. I'd be surprised. They did very well, though, last week. Zlimslad, what game? We are watching IA against Breidablik in the Icelandic Premier League. Clarkey, is it the Mohamed Kudus derby on Saturday? It is, 5:30. West Ham, the Olympic Stadium. Shelley, what's it on, Key? It's on One Football. So, Shelley, you can get it on, if you go to your smart TV, if you've got a Fire Stick, if you've got a, you can even just get it on your phone. If you download the One Football app, you don't need to pay anything. It's completely free. You just go on and you can watch Akraness against Breidablik. Loads of free football on One Football. I'm not promoting it at all. I'm really not. I don't make any money from this at all. but it's a place where you can usually watch free football every single day. Alfie, thoughts on our 74 charges? I mean, how do Chelsea fans feel about it? Let's clear it up, because from an outsider looking in, Chelsea are a bit dodgy, aren't they? Nobody thinks Chelsea are doing things by the book. Like, nobody. And that's not me talking as a rival fan or anything like that. Nobody looks at Chelsea and thinks they're a well-run football club. No, people look at Chelsea and think they have been absolutely cooking the books and bending the rules and, you know, bribing the way through things. I mean, I'm not saying that is the case, by the way, before anyone says. I'm just saying that's certainly the look and feel. It always feels a little bit like, how are they getting away with that? Right? So when you see that type of stuff, where they've been charged, whether or not they get found guilty is another matter, of course, but when you've got a team that's being charged and there's an underlying sort of suggestion, same as City, that surely they've done something wrong. Surely they've done something wrong. It just looks like they'd have. They look guilty. And then, I just feel like they're going to get, at some point, the chickens have got to come home to roost for both Chelsea and City at some point. Ostermark, no wonder they aren't sponsoring you. You're doing it for free. I know. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Ridiculous. I need to start upping my game. Ollie, why are you not doing a 3 p.m. game next Saturday? Not being rude, by the way. I just looked at the 3 p.m.s, mate, and I thought to myself, there's not really a standout one. And I imagine, what I thought was I'd see how this weekend goes. Because if I'm dead honest, every time I've done 4 games in a single day, it really takes it out of me. Like, really, really takes it out of me. And I know you'd look at it and think, what are you about? It takes it out of you. Sat there watching footy all day, mate. I'm telling you, I invite you to do it. I invite you to do it, to sit here and have to talk to camera for like 11, 12 hours straight. It is absolutely mentally draining. So after a while, by that 4th stream, I'm just like a zombie. I'm just sat here in front of the camera, just like, no idea really what's going on. So what I don't want to do is have another day of 4 Premier League games if I can at all help it. So I'll see, basically, is where I'm at with the 3 p.m. game next week. The 3 p.m. this week I wanted to do because it was Villa against Everton. It made sense. Alfie, I can't lie, we all knew about a year ago our new owners snitched basically on Roman. Lol, Joey, been waiting ages for them to get punished. It was inevitable if we're honest. And Pidge, good game tomorrow night. Leverkusen v Frankfurt, 7:30 p.m. Yeah, I was going to say, Hjulmand, the new Leverkusen coach, isn't he? After Ten Hag. 10 days getting sacked. Pidge, the Bundesliga YouTube site has 6-7 free live games every weekend, including one top flight game. Villa 12, Chelsea players sell players to themselves. That's true. And Breidablik, Clear Lake submitted the discrepancies themselves. They were from the Abramovich era. Liam Manning, evening Key. What game's on? We are watching IA, which is Akraness in the Icelandic Premier League. They are rock bottom of the Icelandic Premier League, and they are facing 4th placed Breidablik, who you may know Breidablik from their time in the Conference League and the Europa League. They've featured in Europe quite heavily and played some British teams, actually. So we've got a shock on the cards here. IA are beating Breidablik 2-0 through Strand Larsen and Unnarsson, who scored the 2 goals to put them in front. So rock bottom of the league, currently taking it to 4th place. Spartacus, every non-league game as well. What every non-league game? What are we talking about? Ollie, so are you thinking of missing 3 p.m. games? I'm not I'm just going to play it by ear, mate. I'm just going to see which ones are on, I guess, and kind of get a feel for... I want to make sure that I'm... I want to do the games that I want to do, and I want to do the games that you guys want to do, but I also want to make sure that I'm not just kind of sat in front of the camera like a gibbering fool, which some might say I am most times anyway. But like literally, I don't just want to be sat here like literally dying. I would much rather be a bit more compos mentis and with it and delivering you a stream that I think is... I'm kind of with it and I'm alert and we can talk and have a laugh. OJ, who do you support? I am a Liverpool fan, but I watch everyone on this channel. So we're currently watching the Icelandic Premier League. Do you do ground hopping? What's ground hopping? Ground hopping? Don't know the expression. Some really, really good saves, it has to be said, from the Breidablik keeper to keep it at 2-0. Otherwise, this could have been 3 or 4 very, very easily. Liam Manning, nice, mate. Let's go. AI. IA. Yeah. Get it right. Get it right, Liam. Yeah, what's ground hopping? OJ, what are we talking about? Ground hopping. Ostermon, could you do a games at once on Champions League days? I remember all of our games overlapped with another good one. I mean, could I? Yes. Could I? Yes. Like, practically, I probably could. But, like, is that a good stream? I don't think it is. I don't want to watch that. I mean, I don't want multiple games on, mate. I can literally only concentrate just about on watching one game. And if I'm watching one game, plus I'm talking to you guys and responding and, you know, all that stuff as well, and then you throw in another game on top of that, oh, it just doesn't make it worthwhile. So, if I'm dead honest, I would rather pick one game or have you guys pick the game, because that's ideally what I want to get to. I want you guys picking which games we watch. So that's probably going to be a members only thing eventually. We've got memberships and stuff, so maybe if you're a member you can pick games, or you get the opportunity to watch the games that we do, certain games or whatever. I don't know. We need to sort that out, but certainly I need to get you guys picking the games that we do. Because as it stands, we're going to miss some games. We are going to miss some. Liam Manning, Ipswich tomorrow. Yes, Ipswich against Sheffield United tomorrow on the Championship. It's going to be a tough... That's a tough one to predict, isn't it? Callum, it means go from ground to ground. Well, I've been to multiple grounds, but I don't know what ground hopping. Ground hopping to me suggests like bunking into ground. I don't know. That's why I was asking. Go from ground to ground in 24 hours. Ah. Yeah, no, I haven't done that. Welcome to Mainland. Have you ever been to Prenton Park? I have indeed, yeah. Tranmere. Yeah. Should be an Ipswich win, but I don't know. Might be a Sheffield United win. No, I fancy at least Ipswich or draw. That's what I've backed. Just because, again, I think... I can't see... Ruben Sellers has to get sacked at this point, doesn't he? Come on. There's no way Ruben Sellers keeps his job here. No way. Well, I don't know what it's like where you are in the world, but it is absolutely chucking it down here. It's basically a thunderstorm outside my window here. It is bouncing down with rain, thunder. It's a little bit of a lightning flash, I think, a couple of minutes ago. Liam Manning, Ruben Sellers has to win to save himself, and that might not even do that. Yeah, it's kind of the same with Rangers this weekend, isn't it? Rangers have got... Who have Rangers got this weekend? Is it Hearts? Yeah, Rangers have got a tough game this weekend, and Hibs have got Dundee United, I think. Feels like Rangers definitely need a result this weekend, otherwise Russell Martin might go. So, in terms of Chelsea's charges, they're going to avoid a points deduction, is the latest news. Chelsea have been hit with 74 charges related to alleged breaches of agent regulations. The charges span between 2009 and 2022. But there will not be a points deduction or a sporting sanction. But Chelsea could face a punishment similar to their recent settlement with UEFA, a €10 million fine. So in other words, it's going to be absolutely nothing. It's an absolute non-story. Chelsea won't get anything at all. The alleged rule breaches are for payments to intermediaries and agents and investments in third-party ownerships of players. They were self-reported by Chelsea, who have cooperated with the FA on the matter. Right, so for that reason, they're not going to actually get a points deduction. But that's so annoying, isn't it? Liam Manning at home to Hearts. You would think they'll do well, but I fancy Hearts. I do, yeah, Hearts. Hearts are a difficult team. Liam Manning, worse than what Everton done, but they got points deducted. 10 mil is F all to them, though. I don't think it was worse than what Everton done. I mean, that's maybe morally worse. But Everton were, for the best part of 10 years, maybe, the worst run club in the country. Certainly in the Premier League. They were really, really badly run. And Evertonians wanted it called out more on Sky. They hated the fact that they were so badly run. So, yeah, it wasn't anything to do with Everton getting a raw deal. I mean, I don't think they did. I think the Premier League actually tried to go out the way to get Everton not to get more charges, basically. Alex Macklin, Chelsea, 74 charges. Yeah, but they won't get anything for it. We've just seen they're going to get 10 million quid at best. The same as they got for the UEFA fine. Shelley, wow. It's true though, isn't it, Shelley? It is true. It is very true. They definitely didn't get treated differently. Thomas, I got a match Sunday and can't get my head up. Interesting. Alex Macklin, City and Chelsea always seem to get away with stuff. Liam Manning throw them out the league. Darren, them and City are jokes. Chelsea and City. Again though, mate, there's not really a lot we can do about it. Unless you bring in a football, like an independent football regulator, nothing's going to change. And I have to agree with the fella who was on the overlap last week. He was representing Liverpool. I can't remember his name, but he goes on the overlap quite regularly. He was talking about how the Premier League is very, very close to having games played abroad. Same as Spain and Italy already have, and France, I think, have as well. It's very, very close to the Premier League doing it as well. I would fully expect in the next couple of years we will have Premier League games being played in Saudi and Qatar and the US, and actual Premier League games with actual points at stake. It's madness. IA, unlucky, very nearly 3-0 there. Darren, we got a points deduction for less. Are we on about Everton here? But I know, mate, no, you didn't, Darren. You didn't. Come on. Everton got the goalposts moved over and over and over again. Over and over and over again by the Premier League. If you look at the pit, it feels like to me Everton were an incredibly poorly run club for a very long time, and Everton fans knew this, and they protested repeatedly, didn't they, against Mashiri and Bill Kenwright to a degree as well, God rest his soul. But they weren't a well run club, and the Premier League consistently moved the goalposts on what Everton were allowed. They sort of bent the rules to allow Everton to have more losses, and they had, I think, they allowed clubs to have X amount of losses due to COVID, because every club lost loads of money during COVID because there was hardly any fans and all this sort of stuff. So they literally said you can apportion this much due to COVID, so we'll write that off on FFP for everyone. Everton got to do that plus a load more and still breached. That's how bad it was, because they got special treatment to allow them to pass even more through, and they still breached. So the Premier League really, really did try to try and help Everton. I mean, the Everton fans called them corrupt and all sorts, and I won't deny the Premier League aren't exactly wonderfully run or moralistic in any way, shape or form. They're not brilliant. But I genuinely do think they tried to help Everton. I genuinely do, and I think they gave them a disproportionate points deduction. I don't think 10 points was ever fair at all. It was funny at the time, but it wasn't right. It wasn't fair. You didn't want that, and they got a couple of points deductions. I don't think Everton fans really disputed that they probably did deserve something, and then Forest got something themselves as well. But they were really poorly run. Jacob, I won't deny our club was terribly managed, but it didn't take years for one charge like the big clubs. No, hey, listen, and on that we can agree. I think the difficulty with that is the time that was taken was because with Everton it was black and white, wasn't it? With Everton and Forest it was literally black and white. It was you've missed it. You have declared it yourself that you've missed it. That's the issue. That's you have declared it yourself. Like, you've kind of made yourself guilty because you've submitted the documents. That's it. There's no evidence. There's nothing that needs to be gone through. Whereas with City, it's a lot more subjective, and it's a lot more like cloak and dagger, and where do these payments come from? And you're going back through like 15 years worth of accounts, and well, that was for that, and that was for that, and we can allow that for this. And they've got, literally, City have just got the best lawyers in the world to slow the whole process down. Darren, so what we should have done was deny it like City. No, you couldn't have denied it though. This is the thing. You had to comply, because you have to submit those documents to those accounts every year, like all Premier League clubs do. What City are guilty of, unequivocally, of all those charges, and this is the thing, the Premier League could find them guilty on this tomorrow. They could find them guilty on about 70 of those 115 charges. They could find City guilty tomorrow, because about 70 of the 115 are literally them not complying. The Premier League have said to City, we need this information from you. Can you send us this information? And City have gone, nope. Or, we'll send you a bit, but we're not sending you all of it. Like, we'll send you pages 11 to 15, but we're not sending you pages 16 to 21. And that's what a lot of the charges are related to, either non-compliance or submitting incomplete documentation. That is basically what City's charges, a lot of them relate to. So those they're guilty of. But if they found them guilty of that, you're kind of just wiping away the other 35 of them. The other 35 charges go. You can't find them guilty on this. You want to do it all in one go, and that's what I feel like the Premier League are doing. They're trying to get City hook or by crook anyway. Nostalgia Bunker, I hope Everton don't get deducted too many points with these Chelsea charges. Chelsea have just got a fine. That's all it'll be. It's already been confirmed that they're not going to do anything. BLK attacks. No, BLK are not going to win this. I'm telling you. They're 2-0 down. They are pushing forward, but I'll be honest, I think IA have been the better team so far. They could have scored themselves in the second half already. Dylan McColgan, City make the league money, Everton make them next to nothing, so tried to make an example of them. Really? Do you think that? Oh, again, I'm not sure that's the case. I don't think it is that. I think City, there's probably an element of City being able to afford lawyers and teams of lawyers that not everyday clubs. I mean, Everton are a huge club, but clubs that maybe aren't in the Champions League every year and don't have access to those sorts of resources can't. Like, City will have had a team of lawyers, and I mean a full team of lawyers, providing endless amounts of paperwork that just slows the whole process down. And that's what lawyers are there for. That is basically what lawyers are there for. And court cases like this is to slow everything down so that a court case that should take 3 months takes 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and everyone just gets so bogged down with how much it's costing because the lawyers get paid all the way through that. So everyone just gets so bogged down and frustrated with how much it's costing and why haven't we got a decision yet, and they keep playing and all this nonsense. And it just becomes a whole nonsense that eventually what happens is City in the Premier League get in a room and go, listen, we need to agree a deal here. Let's agree a deal so we don't have these endless lawyer charges, and we can agree something. And I think that's what City have ultimately wanted all along. I think City have basically said, let's try and slow it all down so we can get them to concede a little bit of ground in the end. Like, we'll concede that we're guilty on some things, but not everything. And I feel like that's probably where it's going to end up. The Premier League can't afford to keep paying these lawyer fees and dragging it through. But if they lose, it sets a huge precedent that clubs can just treat them like crap, and they actually aren't the bosses in their own league. And it'll mean that an independent regulator becomes ultimately necessary. Darren, who do you support, pal? I'm a Liverpool fan, which I know you're going to say, oh, yeah, of course you're a Liverpool fan. But no, mate, I am. I'm a Liverpool fan. I've got Evertonians in my family. I don't have any issue with Everton at all. I really don't. I like Everton a lot. One of our regulars on the channel here, Shelley, she's a massive Evertonian. So I like Everton. But like I said, I did think it was funny when you got the points deduction. But I didn't think it was fair. And I did say that at the time. Alex Macklin, is it true that Everton might be getting points deducted again? No, mate. Ostermorg, do you think City are too big to fall at this point? I think there's a very good chance that City get forced to sell. That's one of the possible outcomes, I think, that they get forced to sell. Darren, wouldn't have been funny if we got relegated. I know, but if you got relegated, that wouldn't have been because of the points deduction. The points, well, I mean, look, let's be honest. You've been going down, or you've been circling the drain for years, even before the points deduction and after the points deduction. No, mate, no, come on, you can't say that, because that was 1 year. You got a points deduction 1 year, and you've had loads of times where you've nearly gone down. That's nothing to do with that. Everton have been a really, really poorly run club for a long time. For a really long time. For most of Mashiri's time there. The one redeeming feature of Mashiri is that he got the stadium done, didn't he? You know, he got the stadium done, but for most of the time you've had, whether it be Koeman or Martinez or Allardyce or Benitez or Lampard or Deitch or, you know, anyway, it's all been really, really bad. Like, it's a bad time to be an Evertonian until recently. And for that reason, mate, I genuinely, I really hope nothing but good things for Everton. I'll laugh when we beat you, and, you know, I'll want to beat you more than anyone else, don't get me wrong, but it's, if there's a club that does deserve a bit of good fortune, it's probably Everton. Alex, I fear City might well get away with some charges. They will, yeah, of course they will. Of course they will. They'll get away with some, but I imagine it will be... City might have to sell, because that little victory that they got the other day, by the way, that little victory with the what's it called, the APT, do you know, the Associated like, basically they've just signed a massive mega deal with Etihad, haven't they? So like a 10-year contract where Etihad pay them like £1 billion to sponsor Man City, right? That is massive for Manchester City. So they've won the Premier League on that one. And I just suspect whether or not the Premier League have conceded that one, and maybe they're expecting to win another one. Maybe they're gonna take some money from City, and maybe it's not a points deduction, maybe it's a big fine. So they've said to him, right, well, what we'll do is we'll allow you to have the APT rules. You can win that one, so that you can sign this big mega contract, because we know we're going to find the arse out of you for all this other stuff. Young Josh White, the toffees are coming, lads, and Liam Manning, they've been flirting with relegation for years. It's true, it is true. Darren, half of them managers you named should not have been near the club, mate. I'd agree with that, Darren. Yeah, I would agree with that. Certainly the likes of Benitez, which again... absolutely hilarious for me as a Liverpool fan. But it's true. It's very, very true that he shouldn't have been anywhere near Everton. Shelley lost the money from the Russian fella. Mashiri meant to be an accountant. Another dodgy deal. It wasn't supposed to be. Come on, knowledge. Common knowledge City, another dodgy lot. Alright, there's plenty of dodgy money in football. There's no doubt about that. IA, big chance. It's going to be a corner. Nearly 3-0. Silver Fox, what do you reckon about Kanate? I think he goes at the end of the season. I've no problem with it. I think he's a wonderful player. I genuinely do believe he's the second best centre-back in football. I am gutted if he goes. Whoever we get is a downgrade. But if he wants to leave, he wants to leave. Honestly, we're at the point with Liverpool now where if they decide they don't want to play for us, I'm fine with it. I'm honestly fine with it. I was upset with Trent Alexander-Arnold, as I think most Liverpool fans were, but that was because he was a local lad. He was a local lad that had lied, effectively, at every point, whereas Kanate hasn't. And Kanate doesn't have that loyalty to us. He's a French centre-back. He's no more a Liverpool fan than any of the other players, really. You know, he's just a player that wanted to play for a big club, and there's an opportunity, if we're dead honest, to go and play for the biggest club in the world, Real Madrid. And if he wants to do that, I honestly have no problem at all with Kanate going there. None. Absolutely none. No issues at all with it. Good luck to him. Fine. No problem. Ostermorg, Liverpool haven't been too bad. At least all we've done is hacked some scout reports and tapped up Big Verge. I mean, in fairness, we actually didn't even hack the scout reports with City. We didn't even hack them. What happened was we hired someone that did have the passwords to the scouting system. And there's no evidence at all that we accessed those scouting systems. They just know that he had the access. That's what Liverpool got fined for when you look into it. It's mad. But yeah, we definitely tapped Big Verge up. There's no doubt about that. Mr. Default, you look like Mark Henry. Cheers, mate. Sexual chocolates. Darren, a fine wouldn't make any difference to City. Back pocket change, that's true enough. Liam Manning, they've been going down since Moyes left. I do like them as a club. And Alex, talk on Mark Gay on a free. I would imagine, yeah, Mark Gay to Liverpool is probably what happens. It's nearly 3-0. Right, corner to Breidablik. Here we go. Liverpool said apparently they won't bid for Gay in Jan, so waiting till next summer. Thoughts? I think that's us posturing, mate. That is us saying to Palace, listen, if you want us to kind of buy him now, because Parish really, really wants the money. Parish is desperate for us to buy him. Absolutely desperate for us to buy him. So I think there's a very real possibility that we wait for Palace to come to us, because Mark Gay has said that he only wants Liverpool. I don't think for 1 second Liverpool do go back in unless Palace encourage a deal and say, fine, we will do it at 10 million quid or whatever. Liverpool will be quite happy to let him go till the summer and take him on a free, because we know that Mark Gay only wants Liverpool. Marco, yo, what game are you watching? We are watching IA against Breidablik. Liam Manning, they won't bid 35 million Jan when he has 6 months left. Though. Exactly, that's it. You know, we bid 35 just, and they said no because Oliver Glasner was insistent that he wanted a replacement, and that's fine. That's their prerogative. Unfortunately, that now means that they're going to have to suffer the consequences, which is Mark Gay only wants Liverpool. He was literally wearing Liverpool's, kit. He'd done a medical with us and passed it. So I think he's adamant that he only wants to come to Liverpool. I think we know that, and we've got the assurances of that. So he's a Liverpool player come next summer. If Palace want that to happen sooner, then the only way that happens is if they push us in some way to get him a bit sooner and pay a bit less. Maybe pay 6 million, maybe pay 10 million. 10, 15 million. Ooh, very nearly 3-0. Hi, Vlad. Hey, mate, what game are you watching? We are watching IA against Breidablik in the Icelandic Premier League. Liam Manning, wouldn't he be likely to go abroad, though? I hope he don't, as I like him as a player. I just feel like if you're so close... Like, I feel Mark Gay is he seems like a nice fella, doesn't he? He seems like a guy of integrity, right? If you're a player who has... You've spoken with Arne Slot, which inevitably you will have done, won't he? He spoke with Arne Slot. He's spoken with Liverpool and agreed a deal with Liverpool. He's agreed a contract with Liverpool. Everything is done. He is literally in the kit, wearing the kit, medical done. He is almost a Liverpool player. Minutes left in the window to go. And he gets a phone call from Palace going, done. It's not happening. One, you'd be furious, but two, I feel like you'd be more determined to join Liverpool. I feel like it would now feel weird if he went to somewhere else. I feel like he's already mentally committed to Liverpool. It's going to be interesting to see how he actually performs for Palace for the rest of this season. He's a model professional, so I'm sure he'll be terrific, of course. But I do think he's going to be annoyed, and there was rumours that he was going to put a statement out, actually, because he was that frustrated and that let down by Crystal Palace by the fact that they had decided to pull the plug on this dream move of his. when he could have been in a side that, you know, if he'd have played for Liverpool this season, chances are we're the favourites at the minute. He could have a Premier League winners' medal. He might have won maybe a Champions League winners' medal. Who knows what we can do this season? Maybe we don't win anything at all. But Palace are depriving him of that chance, aren't they? To go and play in a massive team that has a huge opportunity to win a whole lot of, you know, big honours. So, yeah, it's going to be different to see how Gay plays. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how he responds. Ostermorg, worst thing that can happen now is if he gets injured. Other than that, in my eyes, he's a Liverpool player on loan at Palace. Exactly that. I agree. Couldn't agree more. I can't see him joining any other team other than Liverpool right now. And the whole, you know, him moving to Real Madrid, I think that's noise. That's just noise. There's no way he joins Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid are going to sign Konate from us. So, worst case scenario from a Liverpool perspective, we probably lose Konate on a free and we sign Gay on a free. Fine. Like, no major drama. I still feel like that is a downgrade. I like Mark Gay a lot, but I think Konate's... Well, I know Konate is a better defender. Liam Manning, Perry injured for us for the next 2 games, so Darlow in goal. Well, who are your next 2 games? You've got Fulham and you've got... Who's your game after Fulham? I don't know who's Leeds' next game after Fulham. Again, if you're new around here, please do give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe. Head over to YouTube and follow Premier League Dad, Kee Thomas. Make sure you followed me on Twitter as well, by the way. Nearly 6,000 people following me on YouTube. Nearly 4,000 on TikTok. Barely anyone following me on Twitter, on X. So give us a like, please. Take some time now, while we've got a throw-in, while there's a little bit of a gap in play. Make sure you've clicked subscribe if you're new around here. Please, it helps me out. Fulham away and then Wolves away is Leeds' next 2 games. Interesting, okay. There's 20 minutes left here. IA against Breidablik. I wonder, is there still more chances, more goals in this one? 6 points easy. Ostermore Key, I'm enjoying probably my last days as joint first in the FPL league. Do you know what I need to do, man? I need to change my FPL. I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna do it now while we're on the channel, because otherwise I'll probably forget. So I'll do it. The Premier League Dad Championship. Right, I'm 7th. You're joint top, aren't you? Oh, I'm on 173. I'm not doing too bad, you know. Not doing too bad. Oh, okay. 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 It's all right. Okay, I'm happy with that. Right, I still think there's time. I might have to make some changes, like. Oh, it's so frustrating. Right, yeah, I'm going to have to change me FPL team. I think it might be time to cancel Cole Palmer. I think Cole Palmer might be the one to drop out, to sacrifice in the FPL. Liam Manning, thoughts on this weekend's games? Who's winning, etc. I think it's going to be Arsenal and Forest draw. I think Forest can get a point at Arsenal. I think Bournemouth beat Brighton. No, I don't actually. I think that's a draw as well. I'm going to sit on the fence. 2 draws there. I think it's going to be a draw Palace Sunderland as well. And I think it's going to be a draw Everton Villa. So I think... Oh, Fulham Leeds might even be a draw, actually. No, Fulham will win that one. I know that's not what you wanted to hear there, Liam, but I think Fulham beat Leeds and I think Newcastle beat Wolves. So I think Fulham and Newcastle home wins and the rest of the early kickoffs and 3 p.m s are draws. And then the 5:30, I think West Ham Spurs. I think Spurs win that 2-1. Chelsea will beat Brentford. Again, 2-1. Liverpool will beat Burnley 2-1. And City beat United 3-1. KCC, Newcastle, World, start Voltamada Saturday. I think they have to, yeah. I think they probably do start him. Liam Manning, Fulham should win, to be fair, but I live in hope. Wilson, winner, imagine. Oh, I know. He's had a shocker. Everton 3-1, no chance. Ostermorg, look at my game week 3 bench. It's tragic. Yeah, I might have to sacrifice Cole Palmer because it's just not working. It's just not working. Dan James clocked one of the fastest in the league so far. That's something. Yeah, it would be good if he could put the ball in the net. That's the main thing for Dan James. Doesn't score enough. Do we think Polo Moani starts for Spurs? He's had to come off the bench and score the winner. Oh, I can't see it. Somehow I just can't see it. You can't actually sign Isaac, can you? Oh yeah, you can. His price had gone up a little bit. Illiman and Dye, Grealish. These aren't people I should be putting in, are they? Isaac looks good in training. Does he really? I haven't seen him in training just yet. Trying to think of who would be the best, really, to put in for West Ham. For like Bowen's the obvious one, isn't he, to be honest? This is really going into a damp squib now. I think it's just ending as we expected. Liam Manning, hear about Ekatike. Deschamps put him on for 60 seconds at the end of the game. Yeah, I think that was just to secure the fact that he was never going to go and play for. He was never going to go and play for Cameroon then, which he could have done, couldn't he? Milenia Rashkova, Galatasaray. Hey up, Galatasaray 1-3. Akraness 2, Breidablik 2, I don't think so. Victor Andres Meloki, será que remonta? I don't know what that means, but thank you. Ostermorg Semenyo has Brighton at home. Might be a good pickup. And Kudus is playing against West Ham. I just feel like any West Ham goal is either scored or assisted by Bowen, isn't it? Pretty much. Alex, how do you think Ange will get on at Forest? I think that Ange is probably... This is a huge chance for IA on the counter. I think that Ange is going to win them a trophy this year. I'm calling it. I am calling it. He is going to win them a trophy. I reckon Forest wins Saturday lunch. Telling you, stay away from that. Never ever back the early kick-off. That's the one bit of advice that my dad has stayed absolutely constant with over the years. Never, ever, ever back the early kick-off. It's not worth it. You always lose on the early kick-off, and that is exactly what he's done. Every week, pretty much, we've lost. Ostermorg or Juve. Yeah, Juve as well. Por favor, en español, Chris, que remontara. No hablo español, Victor. Taylor match reaction, Jokey. How's it going, Taylor? Okay, we've got a free kick here on the edge of the box, rather, to Breidablik. I've got Juve, by the way. I've got Juve and I've got Bowen in my FPL team. I've also got Wan-Bissaka. And I've also got West Ham to go down. So, I'm loaded on West Ham players. Liam, I don't bet, but I just want Arsenal to lose. Well, that too, yeah. I mean, I'd love Arsenal to lose. Alex, have you heard from Newcastle Joe? Yes, Joe was in earlier on. Yeah, I think he's in the gym. But yeah, he was in the chat earlier, mate. Yeah, he'd be on. I'm sure he'll be on tomorrow. We're doing Ipswich. Don't forget, by the way, we're live tomorrow night for Ipswich against Sheffield United. So if you want to come and join us for the Championship watch along, make sure you've liked and subscribed, get your notifications on, all that good stuff. Breidablik, free kick into the wall, shot from distance. Is Kee and I or Grealish? Who's the better midfielder to put in? John, have you heard the David Coote news? I have, mate. Yes, yeah. That's been known since February, hasn't it? That was when they originally arrested him for that. How mad's that? Liam Manning, I call my toilet at the gym, so when I go, sounds like I'm going. Very nearly Breidablik again. John, you look a bit too happy. What about the David Coote news? I'm not too happy. Or do you mean just in general? To be honest, the games we're watching the Icelandic Premier League, mate. Give me a bit of credit. We're watching the Icelandic Premier League on a Thursday night in the international break. It is literally the only club football is on anywhere in the world. The ref's not give a penalty for that, has he? No, thank God he hasn't. Guy, Andre Onana reminds me of Prime Casillas if he had no hands. John, do you play FIFA career mode? I have done for many, many years, but I haven't really played this last year's edition just because I haven't had time with the channel and everything. However, I've ordered this year's EAFC 26. I am going to be doing a couple of play-alongs when the game comes on Friday, early edition. So, yeah, I'll be playing on Friday, FIFA career mode. So if you want to watch me play it, whatever, then you can do that. Why don't you stream it? I'm going to, yeah, I am. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stream my very first. I've not watched any of the trailers. I don't know what's new, I have no idea what to expect. But I'm just gonna download it and play it, and I'll stream it. And if you want to watch, you can watch. It'll be on YouTube, and we'll see how it goes. Oh, very nearly 3-0 IA. Alfie, hope you're doing well, people. God bless you all, and hope all of your close ones turn to Christ. Alfie, lots of love, mate. Appreciate it. John, do you have any teams in mind? I always pick a team lower down the league, so like a Plymouth or a Wigan, League 1 or a League 2 team. So yeah, I tend to just stick with that. Guys, stay blessed, brother. Glory, glory, Tottenham Hotspurs. Good to see you, Guy. John Zena, why not go foreign like Serie B? Yeah, I wanna do like a journey to the Champions League and the Premier League. So take a team and take them all the way to the top. So that's my plan. Try and buy some wonder kids along the way. Ostermorg, I'm going for Diouf, Van der Ven and De Kuiper back line. Might swap De Kuiper for Reynildo though. Shelley went through the list before and put notify me on all of them. Yes, Shelley, love it. Milenia Rashkova, Turkish Liga, Fenerbahce 1, Trabzonspor 2. Is it really? Oh, wow. Christian Garcia, the green team, score, goal or not? No, Breidablik will not score. It's 2-0. There is 7 minutes left. Stay away from it, Christian, I promise. It's Luke. Some new kits on display. There's some, yeah, behind me. There's some new kits there. I've got lots and lots of kits over here, mate. I've got absolutely loads. I've put some out there that's relatively new, but some that aren't very new at all. Liam Manning, go Wimbledon and make them go to the Champions League. Those things don't go unnoticed. Got offered a job in the England setup. Ali, I'm waiting for score. Breidablik. Ali, I promise you, cash out. It's not going to happen. Breidablik will not score. IA 2, Breidablik 0. It's going to finish. It's going to finish in 5 minutes. No goal from Breidablik. I'm promising you. 2H, what are you watching? We're watching the Icelandic Premier League, mate. IA against Breidablik. That's what we do on this channel. We watch footy every day. And we're watching the only club game that's on anywhere in the world right now is Iceland, and it's IA against Breidablik, who you might know from the Conference League and the Europa League. They've played against some British teams, but they're currently getting beaten by bottom of the league, IA Akraness, the bottom of the Icelandic Premier. Claim for the back pass there, but you're never going to get that. 2H, yeah, nice, mate. Always want a TikToker like this. Dripping with sincerity. AM, if you were a biscuit. Thank you for the follow, Mo, by the way. If you were a biscuit, what biscuit would you be? If I was a biscuit... do you know what I'd be? Probably a malted milk. Or no, actually, a sports biscuit. Which you might not think to look at me. But yeah, do you remember sports biscuits? Sports biscuits were the ultimate dunkers. Absolutely great for dipping in your tea. Sports biscuits. Get on them. B. McCarran, how's things? Good to see you, mate. Yeah, really good, thank you. Hopefully all is well with you and you're looking forward to Villa at Everton on Saturday. We'll be watching, 3 o'clock. Ali, I cashed out. This is crazy. I promise you, it's not going to happen. I doubt Akraness maybe did not score, but they scored, and look at that. I promise you, 2-0. IA 2, Breidablik 0. It's been a very, very poor performance from Breidablik. 2H, also love to watch Small League. How do you watch the game? It's on... I'm not getting anything for this, by the way. I'm not promoting, but you can watch the game on OneFootball. So if you've got a Fire Stick, or if you've got Apple TV, or if you've got a smart TV in any way, shape or form, or even if you're just on your phone, you can just download OneFootball, or go to the OneFootball website on your laptop or computer or whatever, and you can actually just watch it on there. That's it. It's totally free. It's totally legit. It's not a dodgy stream or anything like that. OneFootball is a great site that I found that you can watch league football from around the world free pretty much every day, and it's a proper stream. It's not dodgy. It's like a proper up to the minute stream. So I really like it. I watch a lot of football on it, and we've watched quite a few Icelandic league games and other bits and bobs on this. We've watched the Latvian league as well on here. Alex, when do you think Isak will be at his best? I think probably, I don't know, maybe a few weeks. 2H, I am a Metalist 1925 fan. That's why. Is that in Kharkiv? Metalist Kharkiv. I remember Metalist. I hope it's Metalist Kharkiv. Yes, Kharkiv. Metalist Kharkiv. They played Everton maybe 20 years ago now. But I remember watching Metalist Kharkiv against Everton. That's where I'm born. Nice. Oh, cool, man. That's cool. 2-1. No. Foul on the goalkeeper. Foul on the goalkeeper. It was very nearly 2-1. The goal has been ruled out for a foul on the goalkeeper. Breidablik very nearly scored, so I would have had to profusely apologise. B. McCarran, have you a Twitch now? Yes, I have got a Twitch. If you go and check me out on Twitch, it's on the Premier League Dad. B. McCarran, good stuff. Looking forward to it indeed. The Villa players need to score like they are on national duty. And Ostermore Key wouldn't mind an Elliot dagger on the weekend. Yes. Elliot dagger, love it. Do you think Breidablik will score? They very nearly did. I don't know. I don't think they will. No. I didn't think they would all game. And what's just happened then is the ball came into the box. Breidablik put the ball in the net, but the referee blew the whistle for a foul on the goalkeeper. So the goal has been chalked off. It's still IA 2, Breidablik 0. Ali, okay, history. Did you remember Bursaspor? Of course I remember Bursaspor. Yes, absolutely. Shelley, you'd be a jammy dodger. I've never had a jammy dodger. Never had a jammy dodger. Never had a custard. Well, I have had a custard cream. That's a lie. I'm not really partial to biscuits that are... Would we say a penguin is a biscuit? Because I reckon I'd probably be more of a penguin. For obvious reasons. 2H, are you an Everton fan? No, I'm a Liverpool fan, but I remember watching the game. Yeah. Welcome to Memeland. How are Breidablik losing to bottom of the league? They're losing quite comfortably as well. They're not just losing a little bit. They're losing. They've been battered. How much time left? There's a scoreboard just up here, mate. You can see 90 minutes. That is the real clock. So it's 90 minutes, 20 seconds right now on the clock here. There's 9 minutes of added time. So I can add that, actually. Let me put that on the scoreboard. There you go. There's 9 minutes of added time. B. McCarran, what is the Twitch key? I'll drop a follow. Premier League Dad. So I'll put it in the chat. There you go. It's on the blue bar at the bottom, mate. Alex Macklin, who starts in goal for City? It has to be Donnarumma, doesn't it? Trafford's not covered himself in glory so far. Donnarumma is a solid, established keeper. So, yeah, I would imagine it's going to have to be him. 2H, have you ever watched IFK Göteborg? I have indeed, yes. Yeah. I've watched a little. That's another league we have covered on this channel is the Swedish league. We've watched a little bit of Häcken. I've been to Malmo. I've been to Malmo Stadium. But we've watched Häcken. We've watched Malmo. We've watched IFK Göteborg. Who else have we watched? Norrköping. A few in the Swedish league we've watched. Send please. 9. Let's go Breidablik. 9 minutes of added on time here. Cheers, Beamer Karen. Thank you for watching. Thank you to those that have followed and liked. If you're watching along now and you've not yet subscribed, please do click subscribe. I am live every single day watching live football matches just like this. Help a brother out. Chance at the other end. IA have had another shot on target. Okay, so we've got about 6 minutes left to go here in Iceland. IA 2, Breidablik 0. 2H moved this when I was 2 and been on every game since I was 7. Wow, nice. Alex, how's your family doing? They're doing very, very well, mate. Thank you. Hopefully yours are too. Milenia Rashkova, Turkey, Spain. How is Breidablik looking? I'll be honest with you, Van Leeuwen, they are not doing very, very well at all. It's very... The ball's not on the floor a lot. It's throw-ins, hit it long and high, header, kick it long, header, goalkeeper, big goal kick, header. It's not an awful lot of good football on the deck. So IA are trying to make it look a lot more bitty, I guess. Trying to break the play up and trying to make it difficult to play against them. But Breidablik are still pushing. They're trying to get back into this game, even if it's just one goal. But IA are totally in command. They've got a free kick there, Breidablik. Ryan Kidd, love that Liverpool top there. Cheers, man. Yeah, it's good, innit? It's one of my favourites, that one. Liam Manning, how was the funeral, Key? Yeah, this is a funeral. It's a funeral. It was sad. Very sad. But she was 93. She was a 93-year-old woman, and she'd had a good innings. I'm pretty sure we'd all be happy if we make it to that age. So, yeah, no, she was good. She was a nice woman. Sharp as a tack as well. But there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Everyone was crying. I was sobbing. She wasn't even my family, per se. Whose funeral was it, if you don't mind me asking? So it was my wife's grandma, basically. Ted Starr, favourite team to watch around the world? Well, it'd have to be Liverpool. That's my team. Yeah, Liverpool. That's who I've supported all my life. And I supported him when it wasn't necessarily fashionable to support him, when we weren't very good. But 2H says Metalist 1925. Yeah, Metalist Kharkiv. I think outside of England it may well be Midtjylland. I really like FC Midtjylland in Denmark. I also like Fiorentina a lot, and I like Betis. So I like both of them. Plus Auxerre in France. Jorge says Breidablik, not very happy. Says, where is the live stream? It is on One Football. Ite, do you think there will be one more goal? No, I don't think so, Ite. I think it's going to be finishing 2-0. There's 3 minutes left. 3 minutes. Breidablik, long throw into the box. Cleared away. Foul. And IA somehow managed to scramble it away, but the ball comes back into the box. Breidablik, flick on, keeper's got it, easy. Taylor H, no footy on me, not happy. And 2H, yeah, they are nice. Was there when they met Brodby in 2021. Reece secretly loves Arsenal. Long ball over the top. IA in front. Oh, very nearly 3-0. And now we've got 2.5 minutes to go. Breidablik knocking it long. Direct up the pitch. 30 yards out. The ball goes out wide to the left-hand side. Chance. Get it in the far post. It's really disappointing. Claim for a penalty. Shots. It's gone behind. It's going to be a corner. Corner to Breidablik. 2 minutes left. Corner to Breidablik. Oh, header straight at the goalkeeper. And there you go. 5k on an Iceland game. Oh, that was not pleasant. Yeah, don't tell me you've done that. Again, one final reminder. If you haven't yet, please do click subscribe. We've got 1 minute left in this game. It's going to go behind for another corner. It's a corner to Breidablik again. We've got 1 minute left here. 1 minute. At the end of the game, it's another corner to Breidablik. Final chance for them to get something. For those travelling fan. I don't think there's too many fans there, but here we go. Corner to Breidablik. Ball whipped in. Outswinger. Comes out to the edge of the box. Cleared away. Shot from distance. And Akraness pick it up. And now they're on the counter-attack. And IA are through on goal. There's 2-on-1 here. This should be 3-0. IA, 1-on. He must finish it. And he does. It's 3-0 to IA. There you go. 3-0. Sticks it away. And it's a fabulous finish. IA 3. Breidablik 0. Whew, there you go. We've got 15 seconds left, and that should be that. I didn't think there was going to be one more goal in this, but it is, and that's it. And the ref has blown his whistle. 3-0, this game's finished. 3-0, totally finished. There you go, Jorge Alvarenga. 5k saved, says Ali. I told you, I did not think that Breidablik would score one. But there you go. It was a good finish. Bosh, says Matt. Did you have a goal, another goal in the game for any of them? Well done, if you did. Hopefully you made a bit of cash on that one, mate. Steinar Posteinsen with the goal, the third goal, the big third goal. Van Linty, haha, damn, IA smashing tonight. Who would have thought? I know. 3-0, bottom of the league, IA. They've absolutely battered Breidablik there and surprised everyone. So, well played. Right, a massive, massive thank you to everyone that's been on the live tonight. Really, really appreciate it. I am live tomorrow for Ipswich Town against Sheffield United. Matt needed a goal in both halves. Very lucky. Get in there, Matt. Well done. Love that. Get in there. Anyone who makes a bit of money off the bookies is all right with me. So, yeah, love that. I'm live tomorrow for Ipswich against Sheffield United in the Championship. If you want to watch along with me, make sure you've subscribed. Make sure you've liked. I will be back tomorrow night at about 7 o'clock. So hopefully you're all there for it. Ali, take care, mate. Lots of love. And yeah, enjoy your winnings, Matt. Take it easy. Have a nice night.